Phil, what's going on?
Hello?
Yes, brother.
I have a question for you.
Oh, you're that. What's your actual name, bro? What's your actual name? You're hopping around
Huh?
these lives all the time.
No, I've never been on your live, ever.
Yes, you have. Don't lie.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you have. I can literally play the clip where I was speaking to you about Daniel 7. I was watching it the other day.
Who, me?
Yes.
Oh, do you want to speak about Daniel 7?
No, I'm saying I spoke to you about Daniel 7. I was literally watching the clip the other day.
Oh, on YouTube. Oh, yeah.
So you did speak
I
to me.
spoke- Yeah, but not here.
What's your actual
I've
name?
never spoken. Why do you want to know my name?
Oh, bro, I've known you longer than I've known a lot of my the people I know online, like my actual friends online. So I should get to know your name, don't you think?
Phil.
Phil?
Anyway, let me just ask my question.
Phil's your actual name?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. What's your last name? Mitchell?
Mitchell.
Yeah. Bro.
Let me ask my question, Dean.
Nah, bro, you got to address the prompt. You can't just ask me a question.
Oh, where did Jesus prove Jesus claimed to be? Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
John 14, 12 to 14.
Sorry, repeat that one more time.
John 14, 12 to 14.
No problem. 1 second. John 14, 12 to 14. Okay, so he says, "Very truly I tell you, whoever believes in me will do the works I have been doing, and they will do even greater things than these, because I'm going to the Father, and I will do whatever you ask in my name, so that the Father may be glorified in the Son. You may ask me for anything in my name, and I will do it." So how does this prove he's God?
Yeah, because he's claiming that when he's gone, you can ask anything in his name and he will do it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's only something God does, right? And then he also has to be omnipotent, because he's telling you you can ask me for anything, which means I have the ability to give you anything you want. So he's claiming to be God here.
Okay.
I mean, if any prophet, hold on one sec, if any prophet says something like this, Dean, you would agree this is blasphemy. This is clearly him claiming to be God. I don't think there's any way around
No.
this,
So
Dean.
the reason why it's not is because we already have clear statements showing us that he's not God. Now, if I grant you the apparent reading of this text, which is that he's going to accept our prayers when we pray in his name. Okay,
Is
no
that
problem.
blasphemy?
No problem.
Is that wrong?
But do you agree that Catholics pray to and ask for priests and different dead saints for stuff, even though they're unalived?
Yeah, that's not analogous, because when they ask
Why?
priests or saints, for things, they're asking the saints to give the praise to God. Jesus is saying, so that's not analogous. No one's praying to the saints and the saints going to do anything for them. They're going to ask the saint and the saints going to give the prayer to God.
Okay. So hypothetically,
Let me finish,
I'm giving you hypothetical now. I understood your response, bro. Chill. So my point is, hypothetically speaking, if it's the case that they didn't have to pray to God for you and they could just accept your prayers once you ask them, would that make that dead saint God?
Pardon?
Okay. So you gave me that condition. You said the saint will pray to God on my behalf.
Yes.
Now my question is, what if they didn't have to pray? They could just do it, but God gave them the authority to do it. Would that mean they're God?
No, but they can't do anything though. They can't do anything without God's power though.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Okay. So understand my question again. As long as God is giving them authority to do it, to answer your prayers, would it mean that they're God? They're not doing it independently. They're doing it because God gave them the authority to answer your prayers. Would that mean they're God now?
Yeah, sure.
That would mean they're God?
No, it wouldn't mean they're God. It would mean God gave them the power.
Beautiful. Okay. And that's what I believe Jesus is saying here. God's going to give him the power to do it because Jesus is the Son of Man figure that is given authority by God.
Wait, Jesus is the Son of Man?
According to the New Testament, yeah.
Okay, good.
So the Son of Man is given authority. You agree with that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, beautiful. Then my analogy applies perfectly.
No, because when we say Christ is given authority, we mean he's given the say-so to do something. We already believe he has the inherently.
What would I grant that? What would I grant that definition?
Yeah, because the New Testament portrays Christ as God, 100%.
Okay, so then again, you're begging the question here. Okay, here. I gave you how I reconcile that. I want you to discuss. I want you to discuss this clear verse. By the way, are you apostolic Christian or not?
Yep.
Okay, beautiful. When Jesus says he doesn't know the hour, I was speaking to a Catholic before. What is your interpretation of that?
He doesn't declare it.
Doesn't declare it. Okay, so have you read the context of Mark 13:32 and Matthew 24:36?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you going to refer to the parables? Are you going to refer to the
Okay.
parables he
So
gives?
so are the parables that he gives afterwards, are they about cognitive knowledge or not?
Yes, but the parables about cognitive knowledge only pertain to the angels and the and normal people, but not Christ himself.
Why? Why? Okay. So you grant me it's about cognitive
I'll
knowledge.
tell you why.
Let me. Trust me. I'll let you explain. Just give me a second. Just to clarify for everyone in the audience as well, and from my understanding, you're saying that when Jesus says no one knows, he is talking about knowledge. But when he says no one knows, not the angels, no one nor the Son, only nor the Son isn't in the same sense as the previous two. Justify that. Go ahead.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
right. Okay, yes, because he gives the parable of the master, right? The master who goes away. Now, the master who goes away knows when he's coming back. It doesn't make any sense because he's telling them to prepare. So obviously he knows. How does it make any sense for him to say prepare and he doesn't even know when he's coming back? So the master, who's Christ himself, knows. That's my evidence.
Okay.
And then when you read, and then when you hold on, and then when you read, John 16 and John 21, we're already told by the disciples, Christ knows all things, and Christ says, "Now have you seen and believed?" So the Gospels portray Christ as all knowing.
Okay, beautiful. So I want to stick to the immediate context, and then I'll address John afterwards because I want to stick on the immediate context. So the immediate context for Mark and Matthew, you're mentioning the one parable of the master when he leaves, he knows when he's going to come back. Okay,
Yeah.
my assessment of that parable or that example is not the intention about the master being Jesus and him knowing, but rather it's the fact that the people don't know when he's going to return. Now, even if I grant you that there's an analog here, even if I grant you that,
But who's the master going away?
is that similar? Yeah, it's Jesus. I'm granting you the analog right here. I'm granting it for the sake of argument. I'm granting you it. Now, is there a similar analog to this in the example he gives about Noah and the people of Noah? How the people of Noah didn't know when the flood was going to come. Is there a
Yes,
similar?
and in that specific, yes, good. That specific parable or example you're talking about is not pertaining to him. It's only pertaining to
Okay.
the people other than him.
Okay, beautiful. So you agree with me? There's no analog similar to the master point you made in the Noah example, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. What about the last one where he says it's like a thief? Sorry, not a thief in the night. Yeah, it is the thief in the night one. So the thief in the night one, it's talking about again an owner of a house where he doesn't know when the thief is going to come, and that's why he comes at a time where he doesn't expect, and then he steals from him. So
Yeah,
here,
that's
here, there's no analog as well, yeah?
no,
There's no analog?
not pertaining to Jesus.
Okay, beautiful.
Not pertaining.
Okay. So this is my point now. My point is what's the likelihood the intended analog, the intended similarity and parallel is that the master knows when he's going to return and the people don't, if from the three examples, my interpretation of what the analog is accounted for all three, while your analog is forced into one of them and can't apply for the other two. What's more likely is he's not really intending your analog, is it?
No, because we read the Gospels holistically. So when you have a holistic understanding of the Gospels, you won't come to that conclusion.
Okay.
100%.
But you agree with me that Irenaeus agrees with me that Jesus doesn't know the hour, yeah?
Pardon?
You agree with me that Irenaeus doesn't believe Jesus knew the hour, yeah?
Uh, no. Well, he had a different view to what I would hold to, but no, he did believe Christ.
He believes that Jesus
Irenaeus,
cognitively didn't know the hour, yeah?
no. Irenaeus says that Christ knew all things. He explicitly says. He says
Wait,
the ones that
brother.
He's,
I know
wait, one sec,
Irenaeus
bro.
contradicts himself, but whether you how you want to reconcile it, that's up to you. But what I'm saying
Okay,
is,
okay. So why don't you pick? Why don't
does
you
he
pick
not?
where
Does
he
he
says
not?
that he
Wait,
knows all things? Let's
brother.
say he contradicts himself. Why don't you pick where he says he knows all things?
Because
Why do you focus on the
because
part?
I know the reason why I'm pointing out Book 2, Chapter 28, Section 6 here is because he's explicitly giving an exegesis of what he thinks about this passage. Another passage, another explanation of his theology in another part has nothing. He didn't explain it here in his within the section where he's explaining this verse. So there's no need to bring it. What he does explain with his explanation of this verse is that Jesus literally didn't know the hour and that the Father has more knowledge than the Son. I take that on the apparent and I say, okay, That means our earliest understanding is this. Now, even if we don't go to Irenaeus, Tertullian believes that Jesus was ignorant of the hour, yeah?
I don't care what Tertullian
No, no,
says.
but does he say that?
I don't know. I didn't read Tertullian.
No
But
problem.
if he says that, I don't care.
Okay, he does say that. So we have two early references where they say Jesus didn't know based on this passage. So we have that. We have the fact that the analog you brought was only for one of them, not two. Okay, so we're building up a case here. Okay, why was nor the Son removed from the manuscripts in Matthew 24:36? Why was the phrase nor the Son removed?
Repeat that again.
So in Matthew 24:36, the section that mentions nor the Son doesn't know, that was removed from the manuscripts in Matthew. You know that, right?
Is it in the manuscripts we have today?
It is, but it was being removed at the time.
Okay.
Like, you know that, or you don't know that?
Okay, sure. Then people would have that just means people would have misunderstood what it
Misinterpreted.
meant.
No,
Yes.
but did you know that? I'm just asking you.
Yeah, I've heard of that before. That
Okay.
the manuscripts were tampered with back then. That's fine. But we have it today, so it's clearly not been corrupted.
That's not my point. But listen clearly to my point. My point has nothing to do with tahrif or changing of the Bible. It's irrelevant. My point is that there's people, the Messianic scribes, that support me, in my understanding, because they found it problematic. Right? You agree with me? The scribes were removing it because they found it problematic. They were misinterpreting it. Yeah.
Sure, people can misinterpret all sorts of things.
Okay, beautiful.
Like,
at least you're more genuine.
For example,
no, I'm actually giving you credit because the previous guy was copying. At least I give you credit that you're genuine enough to admit they removed it because obviously it's theologically problematic. So yeah, go ahead.
No, they thought it's theologically problematic. I don't think it's
no. I know
that's the case.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
I said that. I said you admitted that they believe that. But
all right.
So if you take it holistically, and by the way, I want to address your John point. So we have just to summarize. The analog you brought for one of the examples only works for one of them, not all three. The context is clear about cognitive knowledge for all of them. You have also the fact that Irenaeus and Tertullian back my understanding that Jesus doesn't know. And we have the fact that Matthian scribes supported my interpretation because they're removing nor the Son.
No, that you misrepresented Irenaeus. Irenaeus says, insofar as we're in the form of this world. That's what he says about
we can dissect Irenaeus' quote. No problem. I'll give you time to dissect it, and let's dissect.
But I don't want to go off on a tangent. I want to talk.
So why did you mention it? Like, we're gonna have to talk about it.
No, because
didn't you mention in John that Jesus knows all things? I want to talk about that. So
okay, sure. But then after that, I've got a verse for you.
So what's the reference for that? Yeah, you can bring that. Bro, we got all day, no problem. So what's the verse for John's? For the
John 21, 17, I think it is.
Okay, let's have a look. So John 21.
And if I'm not mistaken, in the context, he clearly is said to be speaking plainly, which means it's literal. So
okay, let's see.
The best way to understand it is, it's not that he doesn't know cognitively, but he doesn't declare it.
Okay, so John 21. Let's see. No. Let's see. No, it's not here. So let's see, John 20. No.
Is it not there?
So we're trying John 20 now.
Oh no, sorry. John 16, 29 to 30. Okay. You can go there.
Okay, John 16. Here we go. Okay. So it says, I came from the Father. So this is verse before. I came from the Father and entered the world, but now I am leaving the world and going back to the Father. Then Jesus' disciples said, now you're speaking clearly and without figures of speech. Now we can see that you know all things and that you do not even need to have anyone ask you questions. This makes us believe that you came from God. Okay. So there's two things to dissect here. The first thing is the disciples don't say that they will speak clearly now. He says Jesus is speaking clearly now. So the disciples are the ones that say you know all things. So your previous point is invalid.
Yeah, but if they were wrong, why wouldn't he correct them? Did he correct them and say, no, I don't know?
No, I'll address that. But first we have to make progress in that you misrepresented it because you said that Jesus said, I am speaking plainly now.
No, I never said that.
And then Jesus
I said that I was mistaken.
One second. And then Jesus said, I know all things. Well, that's not the case. What happened
I
was,
said the disciples. Okay, yeah,
okay,
go on.
so the disciples are saying, now we can see that you know all things and you are speaking without figures of speech anymore. Okay. So when they say, now we know that you know all things and that you do not even need to have anyone ask you questions, this makes us believe that you came from God. They don't say, this makes us believe that you are God. They say, this makes us believe that you came from God. That means you have supernatural knowledge, right? So how is that? Like, for example, if someone was to tell David in the Old Testament, you know all things on earth. David knows all things from earth. His knowledge is like an angel. Does that mean that David's God or that David's omniscient?
Yeah, yeah, you're talking in the Old Testament when
Yeah.
David is said to know all things, but it's not reiterated like it is in the New Testament. It's reiterated more than once that he knows all things. And then when we
Doesn't
read the
matter,
context,
bro. It doesn't matter.
one second, when we read the context, the disciples are saying they're speaking, plainly, and then
Yeah.
Christ does not correct them and say, "No, I already told you. Remember, in Mark, I already told you that
Yeah.
I don't know all things. I only, I don't declare anything. I don't know
No,
anything."
no.
He never says that, right?
Jesus
So,
would understand from them that they're using hyperbole. Okay, you know the example from David that you're familiar with.
hey,
The
W.
the
Cow,
the
man, this
the,
Muslim
the
cow,
woman.
he knows a lot, man. Honestly, W. Cow.
Sorry.
Now I'm saying Kyle in the comment section, very knowledgeable in the Old Testament, man. He's amazing.
Okay. So the point is that uh, on Jesus knowing all things, they would actually understand that it's hyperbole because what do they say? They say we know that you came from God. So what does the Old Testament say? Like that woman that was speaking about David, what does she say? She says, "You are like your knowledge is like an angel from God," meaning someone that was sent from God, like an angel. So that's the comparison they're making, similar to David. Do you understand?
Hello. Yeah, I understand, but again, when I take just Mark holistically, I
Yeah.
come to no other conclusion that Christ is God. But can we go somewhere else in Mark
Yeah.
to prove he's God?
Yeah.
Because we're not going to agree on this. It's fine.
But do you believe David literally knew everything on earth?
No, that's hyperbole. But
Okay.
with Christ,
No,
it's not
no,
hyperbole. It's literal.
I agree with you. It's also hyperbole with Jesus.
No, it's not. But can we go somewhere else?
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about Daniel 7, because I love how you quote, Daniel 2, but you don't go to Daniel 7. So can we speak about this passage, what I'm going to go to now, and I want to speak about Daniel 7 after. Is that okay?
Does that have to do whether Jesus claimed to be God?
Oh my God. Why do you want to speak about Daniel 7? You use it all the time, Dean.
I do, bro, but to be honest, I'm getting tired.
You're getting tired of Daniel 7. I know.
No,
It's okay.
I'm getting tired of this life. So bring your last point, and then I'm gonna head out because
Yeah, okay.
it's like 3:30 a.m. Go on.
All right. Can we go to Mark 10:26 to 27?
Okay. Man skipped 10:18. Okay. So the disciples were even more
I
amazed.
know you're arguing with Mark 10:18, and now Matthew tries to change it, and yeah, whatever.
The disciples were even more amazed and said to each other, "Who then can be saved?" Jesus looked at them and said, "With man this is impossible, but not with God. All things are possible with God." Then Peter spoke up, "We have left everything to follow you. Truly, I tell you," Jesus replied, "no one who has left home or brothers or sisters or mother or father or children or fields for me and the gospel will fail to receive 100 times as much in the present age. Homes, brothers." So you want to keep reading?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It
Yeah.
just Mark 10:26 to 27.
Yeah.
And then can you go to Mark 10:45, please?
Mark 10:45. Is there even a Mark 10:45? Yeah, there is. Okay. So it says, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve and to give his life as a ransom for many."
Why did Jesus just say it's impossible for man to save another man, but he just told you here that he's going to give his life as a ransom for many? How's that possible? When he just told you with man, it's impossible to save another man. Only God can do this. And then he tells you he can give his life as a ransom for many. Can you
Because ultimately,
explain?
it's God who, because he's the Son of Man figure, God gives him the authority.
But he just told you it's impossible with man.
Yeah.
So
It's
unless he's
impossible with
contradicting
man.
himself,
It's possible with man unless God gives you the authority.
where does he say that?
It's already implied from Daniel 7 that he's given authority.
Daniel 7.
And then you have other passages where Jesus clearly being given authority to do stuff.
But didn't you say the Son of Man is not a single person, Dean? You say the Son of Man is multiple people.
No,
correct?
I say it has multiple usages. You can mean it one way or the other.
Okay, but again, we're told here that it's impossible for man, and Christ himself is a man. So
it's impossible for man without God, but Jesus has God with him, so he's able to do it.
Yeah, but he doesn't say that. He says it's because we're even told in Isaiah that God looks around and he finds no man worthy of saving anyone else, so he uses his own arm. But here, Dean, we're already told that it's impossible again for man to save another man, but Jesus says he saves others, and he's a ransom for many.
So what's that verse there that you're quoting? Is that 27? Yeah, okay. So it says, with man, this is impossible, but not with God. All things are possible with God. So because Jesus has God with him, he's able to do it. It's simple.
Oh my God. Okay, let's read this again.
That's simple.
The disciples were even more amazed and said to each other, who then can be saved? Jesus looked at them and said, with man, this is impossible. But with God doesn't mean he has God with him. It means
that's
only
essentially what
God.
It means. With God, you could do it. If I tell you, it's impossible to fly, but with God, it's possible to fly. That means it's with God. It's not just God being able to do it.
But with God here doesn't mean a man can come with God and then he'll be able to do it.
Why not?
It clearly, because he literally says here, all things are possible with God.
Yeah.
So God can do all things. So are you saying God can give the ability to a random human being to be able to do anything?
That's according to the Bible,
anything.
yeah.
Oh my God. All right, Dean. You said you want to come off, so it's okay. We can talk about Daniel 7 another time.
Are you talking about it from a prophecy aspect or?
No, because my argument would be is that the fourth kingdom has not been fulfilled, and you have no way of accounting for Daniel 7.
Fourth kingdom has not been fulfilled.
Yes, because no one can explain who the little horn is, because the little horn is part of the fourth kingdom, and no one can explain who it is.
Let me understand what you're so where does the Islamic kingdom take part in Daniel? In Daniel,
Islamic kingdom.
In Daniel 2, where is it in Daniel 2?
It's just any other kingdom that just comes and goes. It's like all the other kingdoms.
How? Okay, you agree that the Roman Empire was destroyed by the Muslim Empire, yeah?
Yes, but it's typological for another Roman Empire.
Oh my days, the typology, bro! I don't want to hear it.
Then go to Daniel 7.
I don't want to hear it. When I hear typology, I don't want to hear it. Like at that point, bro, I just don't care.